Cowboys football. Billy Gill.
Cowboys football, Stugotz.
How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm here.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are concerned about you. They're calling you Billy Ill. That's really just me.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are calling me that.
Illy Gill.
Yeah, I got a lot of texts yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, I feel like some artistic liberties were being taken with my health. I was asked by multiple people, I heard you're in the hospital, and I said I am not in the hospital. I was never in the hospital.
Huh.
Seems as though just someone decided to say on air I was hospitalized.
I didn't say that.
No, I know it wasn't
Okay,
you.
okay,
I know
it wasn't me.
you.
But
No.
you thought it was me, right?
No,
when
I
you
know
heard
who it was. It was Dan. I know that he said I was in the hospital for some reason.
Did he really?
Yes.
Glad he has a pulse of his employees.
Jeez Louise.
He's in the hospital. I think because he knows you love football so much.
Yeah.
And he knows you love Radio Row so much. He just figured it would take something like going to the hospital for you to not be here yesterday. You know? Yeah.
I'm here.
You
today.
are here. Yep. How was your flight?
It was good. I like a good quick flight. The last couple of Super Bowls have been like 5-hour flights for us. This is a nice quick one up and down, an hour 40 more or less.
It was Vegas and Glendale. You're right.
Yeah, I had obviously because I'm me, I had like a stressful situation on the flight.
Of course.
Because when I was getting there, I saw someone at check-in that I recognized, and I was like, should I go up and say hello to this person, or should I not say hello to this person?
Right.
I don't want to be a bother.
Sure.
And then at the gate, I saw the person, and he had his hoodie on and headphones in. I'm like, I'm not going to talk to him. And then
So you saw a person, you knew who this person was. The person is a celebrity, and unlike me, you were questioning whether or not you should say anything.
Well, it's going to get worse when you find out who it is.
Oh God.
So I end up then seeing this person at baggage claim.
Right.
And I'm like, well, if I say anything, it'll be now, obviously, because I'm not going to see this person the rest of the week, more than likely. Sure. And then other people were talking to this person. I'm like, okay, before I go, I'm just going to say, hello, introduce myself to the person, whatever, right? Also, sitting next to this person, Braxton Berrios. So, who we're going to talk to this week.
Super Bowl week, Radio Row, Billy.
Exactly
That's what happens,
So there was people on the flight, obviously, coming from Miami over here to New Orleans. And when I saw this person, I figured they're going to be on my flight. I know where they're going. So I go up. And on the way back, I get my bag. I go, and it's like, hey, how's it going? Like, I'm Billy. I do the show with Stugotz. Like we've spoken a couple times. Like, good to see you. Yeah. And the guy goes, I know you are Billy. Like, you don't have. And I'm like, yeah, no. Like, we do a show. He's like, I know who you are.
Why are you surprised that people know?
You want to know who it was?
I think I have a feeling.
Who do you think it was?
Raheem Mostert.
It was Raheem Mostert. It was so awkward. I'm so awkward.
Is he coming out?
I told him, like, I heard you're busy tonight. He's like, yeah, it's really busy. He's like, I'll find you guys. I'm like, okay, see you there. I was like, I think I knew, like, all right, good luck this week. And then I leave, and I go to get an Uber.
Right.
And I'm just begging. I'm like, please, Uber, get here fast, because I was already so awkward to begin with. I now don't want to be standing at, like, the Uber check with Raheem the entire time.
Make it worse.
Exactly right. The less I say, the better. It's generally how my life goes. The less I say, the better.
Fuentes and I came here. Jimmy Johnson was on our flight.
Oh.
I know. There's something that makes me feel good when a coach is on my flight, especially that coach,
Yeah. Yeah. Why? Because you think that he, like, I mean, just heaven forbid, you think that plane crash is not in his future?
Yeah, yes. I feel like I feel better when I know. Plus, if something does happen, he's a coach. He's going to spring into action and take care of all of us. That's what coaches do.
Oddly, I thought that with Raheem, too. I was like,
Did you really?
I was like, this is good, because should anything happen, like, he'll probably be, like, the first one to take control of the situation, and then I can hop in after.
Right.
Like, I'm not a first, responder situation. But, like, I can be guy number 2 or guy number 3.
Right, you can pile on very
exactly
well.
Right, yeah.
Yes. Raheem, you get it started.
Once
and I'll
there's
be there
a big crowd, I can kind of get in there, hey, you know what I mean, and kind of stop things. Should I need to?
Yes. Nate Tice is going to join us. Warrick Dunn, DeMario Davis. Nate Tice tells us great stories about when he was a ball boy, and I'm looking forward to that. Referees, they kind of like the I didn't know this, but you can't, like, so Nate was a ball boy. He would have to give the refs a new ball. They want it tossed in, like, grooved into them.
Really?
And if you throw it too hard, the referees get mad at you.
Wow.
I mean, get over yourself.
Exactly.
You're going to be replaced soon. I mean,
did you see the awkwardness on opening night where multiple people ask, or I guess it was probably the same person, asked Patrick Mahomes and asked Travis Kelce about the referees?
No.
So They ask, I think, Travis Kelce.
I was on a flight with Jimmy, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. Well,
it was a little delayed, but Jimmy took care of it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good. I can't believe that Jimmy still, lives in the Keys or in Miami or wherever.
Yeah.
And then he flies to, L.A. every week to talk football.
We were shocked he didn't fly private, to be honest with you. Yes.
Maybe things aren't as good.
Let me tell you, it was delayed, but once they realized Jimmy was on the flight, that bird was taken off.
Yeah.
Okay? Jimmy was not having it.
That's true.
Yes. So you were saying about the awkwardness.
Well, I was going to say, someone asked Patrick Mahomes, what do you love more? Or what teammates have helped you in the past? Which referee has helped you in the most in the past? So they asked him about referees, and they asked Travis Kelce, do you love Taylor Swift more? Do you love referees that call phantom roughing the passer to give you 15 yards more? He did not like that question one bit.
It's a good question, though.
Travis Kelce used to be a staple on these things.
Yeah.
Never see him anymore.
You're right, big time.
Mm-hmm. Also, he's always in the Super Bowl.
Nate Tice is with us. He's the host of Football 301 on Yahoo Sports. And they're recording on the Toyota Land Cruiser set. That sounds pretty cool. But you are, how old are you?
35.
You cannot give yourself a curfew Super Bowl week when you're 35,
I had to, man.
You do that when you're my age, which is 50.
My better days are behind me. I used to be a contender,
right?
Especially at the bar. No, but that's kind of what I had to do. I was I looked at my schedule and I was like, I don't know if I could do this with a headache.
Right.
No,
I know.
But I love this city. My uncle played for the Saints for 10 years.
Right.
So I used to go to the Manning Academy here in Louisiana. So I used to come every year in New Orleans in January. And so, it's kind of fun actually doing it for work now. And
yes.
Every time I'm here, I'm like, oh, yeah, the city rocks. People here are really nice and cool and fun. So I'm loving it so far.
Yeah, it's a great city. It really is. It's a great big event city.
It is.
It's a walking city.
Walking city, yeah.
That's the big thing.
That's kind of, I don't know if you've been to the Combine in Indy. That's why I never think they'll move it. Because everything is 3 blocks from each other.
Yes.
Bars included, restaurants, but just where the facilities are.
Yes.
And that's just such an underrated. No one wants to get in the car for 5 to 10 minutes to do everything. So I think that's what's great about this right now.
So I'm glad you brought up the Combine, because I tell LeBatard all the time that if you just walk into St. Elmo's during Combine week, you'll hear everything you need to hear.
That and Prime 47.
Oh, really?
Which is a restaurant.
Is that a new spot?
No, it's been around.
Okay.
It's just that time doesn't exist in Prime 47.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's the same lighting.
Next thing you know.
Yeah, same lighting no matter what.
Right.
And the thing that happens, during the Combine is just a lot of guys, a lot of coaches and personnel guys, they're interviewing till 11 p.m. So really the networking, quote unquote, the convention part of the Combine, it's starts at midnight.
Right.
It's not even just drinking wise. It's just people just finally are stepping out and actually can hang out and stuff. So it's kind of a surreal thing where it's all right, 11 o'clock, guess I'll start out. I feel like I'm in New York or Miami, actually.
Yeah. Right. No, that's past your curfew, though.
I know. I hang out longer in Indy than I do in New Orleans. That's how you're supposed to do it, right?
It's the places you shouldn't be.
Yeah, I know. And I live in Vegas, too, and I'm acting like I'm just can't even handle this.
So Vegas, for me, that was a nightmare, in terms of a Super Bowl. Now,
I did meet you there, and I was
I remember.
Okay, you did. All right, I was surprised. No,
I remembered. Yes. I normally don't, to be honest with you.
But that's the thing is I felt bad for people there because you could tell everyone's excited. Vegas, okay.
Yes.
And then after day 4, and you guys had some crazy weather too.
With
your live shows and stuff.
It was freezing.
Yeah. And day 4, I got to go home every night, every day, and I just saw everybody worn out.
Yes.
It's just being in those casinos. It's the little city states, and you can't get out.
Well, and not only that, it was to get once you got to the hotel, once you got to the media center, to the front doors, you're still outside. Yeah. You were just starting your trip. It took 30 minutes from that point just to get into the media center.
Everything.
It took me 2 seconds today.
Yeah, I know. That's what's so great. My hotel's 2 blocks away. It's nice.
It's pretty awesome. Tell us about the Football 301 on Yahoo Sports.
So we got Charles McDonald, who I know has been on some LeBatard shows.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Yep, friend of the show. So him and I and Matt Harmon, who does reception perception, his background's a lot more in fantasy, but really we talk about X's and O's, scheme stuff, really a lot of deep dive stuff. Charles helps me kind of come out of my little lair sometimes. Actually, I gotta be a normal person about some of it, but really just there's a lot of what happened, when happened. We're really trying to go why, how. I think a lot of people like when they can just point out one thing to their buddy at the bar.
Sure.
And go like, hey, this linebacker's pretty good. Or, hey, they like run this coverage or something of that sort.
Right.
My background, I kind of done everything in football, played, coached, scouted. I was a ball boy. I think with just all that has kind of led me to kind of go like, oh, maybe this. I was around a lot smarter people through osmosis.
Right.
I go, maybe look out for this. Maybe look for this guard that's weak against this blitz. And I think that's kind of like a nice angle for us. And it's a lot of fun to kind of dive into.
So I think it's interesting because Dan and I say every week, and I just had this experience with DeMario Davis, who explained to me why that corner blitz that Spags put on Josh Allen, he like actually took me through it as to why it was so special and how he actually set it up.
Yeah.
Because Dan and I have been talking about this for years. We don't know what we're watching on Sundays.
It's a lot. And that's
right?
That's what people think the all 22, the big X's and O stuff, where you can see all the players on there.
Right.
People think that's like, oh, you guys don't know what you're looking at and stuff, but you have to rewind it a million times because like you don't always see what the guard is doing from the sideline angle. You don't see downfield what the safety is doing. And that's what that play was brilliant. I mean, we had 500 backlash breakdowns on that play and everything. But that's what's really cool, especially with blitz stuff, is that there's layers to it and there's rule breakers. And that's why I love Spagnuolo. I was a former offensive guy, but watch him, he breaks rules. And that's what it's a total F me, F you kind of thing.
Right.
And he's able to do it. And you saw like that perfect fourth down play was like, yeah, that's what Spags does to you.
Crazy.
He does the 501 thing.
Yes.
That you are prepared for it, but it would be like a leap of faith to get there for an offense. And that's what's really cool when you start dissecting it.
He is maybe, and I've had this discussion with him, he and I have become friends, but I've told him, like, I know he wants to maybe be a head coach again. Why leave this quarterback? Why leave this coach? Why leave this situation? There's nothing wrong with being the greatest coordinator that's ever lived.
That's right. And his reputation in my mind now, and this speaking to this, is he went from like a head coach retread, okay, interesting defense coordinator, to now I consider him one of the greatest defense coordinators of all time.
Yes.
With and I truly mean this. I think that some of the game plans, just like Belichick, should go to Canton.
Right.
Because he's one of the best game plan coordinators. Once the playoffs start, it's so week to week.
Right.
Like as far as like, all right, that game plan, throw it out because we're starting a whole new one.
Different team, different game plan.
And now we got all 18 weeks to like look at the previous film as opposed to maybe 4 in the middle of the season.
Right.
Him and Andy Reid on the opposite side are the best. Like they are and now they have a bye week. So that's how I look at it, too. It's like, all right, you probably paid pretty well, too.
Yeah.
And everybody now the respect level has gone through the roof.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying Andy and Bill are the coaches who are the best at getting their teams prepared week to week.
It's not even just week to week. It's once we hit playoff time, and they have those hyper-specific game plans. So maybe that's the best way to put it. They're the ones that are able to create these one-off game plans, the one-off plays that's like, oh, that was I even come back to 2 years ago, though, when these two teams played in the Super Bowl. Remember the kind of back and forth touchdowns and motions and stuff?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't – Andy Reid was able to watch every Eagles game where the coaches were from the whole regular season. And they took those plays, which are popular, but they took it from the Jaguars doing it against the Eagles in like week 4. And that's the difference is they put in the work and go, oh, that's interesting. We're going to put it in now. And that's what the extra bye week does. It gives you the time to do it. So
interesting.
Yeah, that week to week. I keep saying week to week. I should say that specific playoff game plans, they are the best at it.
Who's not doing that?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm trying to even look.
Like, is Sirianni do? I think Sirianni gets a raw deal. Like
he does, right? They keep winning and everything. Well,
they've been to 2 Super Bowls 4 years, playoffs 4 consecutive years.
I thought one thing underrated aspect with Sirianni was the year before they won that first Super Bowl run, so that would have been 21.
Right.
He benched himself as a play caller.
Right.
And usually you'd be like, ha, ha, ha.
Yes.
But I thought the humility to go, no, Steichen, you got the plays.
Yes.
I'm going to bench. Because they were struggling the first 4 or 5 weeks, I want to say it was, and then they had a bye.
Right.
And they launched from there, and then they got A.J. Brown and continued the next year.
Yes.
Steichen's now a head coach.
That's not an easy thing. With the ego involved in this sport, think about that. He responsibility himself of play calling responsibility.
Usually what you see is the opposite.
Correct.
Oh, I'm taking it away from him. He's fired. He's the first one in front of me in the fire going, he's the human meat shield for me. Yeah. And that's what most and I kind of look back then. I respect him for that because not a lot of head coaches would do that, especially ones that, finally get their first head coaching job. And they're like, I'm going to be a play caller. Look at me. I'm the next McVay Shanahan.
Right.
So that's one thing where I was like, hey, there is something to that. And there's something to being like, I hate the term, but the CEO type that kind of gets everyone organized. And they keep winning games, man. So
listen, Philly should be embracing him. He is Philly. I mean, they
not
should
just
be
the last name.
Yes.
Because a bunch of vowels in it.
Yes.
No,
Philly should want him to coach that team forever, man.
He might just go luck charm for
Listen,
us.
I said this to Le Batard. He got mad at me, but I said if Sirianni wins this Super Bowl, he is the greatest Eagles coach in Eagles history.
Of course, the other one got ran out. Like Doug, Andy Reid got ran out. I know.
Sirianni can still win something.
Hey, going to 2 and winning 1 is a lot better than a lot of other coaches. I know. Even if you end up as the Larry Coker of NFL coaches, it's not the worst.
It's not the worst thing. No, listen, Larry Coker had the greatest start, I think, in college football history as a coach.
And
right?
that's kind of that's how I feel about him a little bit too. It's like, hey, yeah, he's taking over a Ferrari,
right?
But he's keeping it on the road.
Yeah.
And I know there's every time they lose, it's the funniest little everybody starts dropping rumors and gossip and everything. But I haven't gotten a lot of that lately because I think things have been pretty good in Philly.
How about Fangs in terms of getting his team ready? Because this is such a fascinating Super Bowl where you have Mahomes, you have Jalen Hurts, you have all this offensive talent, right? But the defenses are strong. The coordinators are great. It could be a low-scoring game.
That's what I think. It's going to be a lot of long drives too. It's both of these defenses are top 5 in allowing explosive plays, and the fact that they don't allow them, I should say.
Right.
And I think that you can be methodical against both of them. I think the Rams game was interesting against this Eagles defense, where they're really doing a lot of at-you runs, a run concept called duo. But what it is just like vertical, just power basically without anyone pulling. And you can do that. If you're willing to live with 4 or 5, 6 yard gains, and the Chiefs are able to do that.
Right.
And that's what they want to do. They're not very explosive anyways, but they're hyper efficient.
Right.
So I think it's a lot of long drives. I think this line I've been kind of giving it. I think this is going to be the shortest Super Bowl. As far
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even with the halftime show.
Well, because now you have listen, it was a great game 2 years ago, but now you have Saquon, and to Sirianni's credit and Howie Roseman's credit, to be able to get Saquon from the Giants, which is ludicrous and absurd. But you now have the guy, if he doesn't break 1 for 80, you can have those 11-play, 10-minute drives. That the most important thing about him, we've kept Mahomes off the field.
That's it.
And
right? Both teams want to do that.
Right.
The Chiefs want to go, well, we don't want them hitting big play after big
Correct.
play on us. So I am really curious. My eyes are going to Spags versus Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offensive line. It really is, because Spags is one of the best, he's one of the biggest blitzers, but he runs a lot of zone blitzes, and that's a difference than man coverage blitzes. And Jalen Hurts has been better against the blitz, but if you remember last year in the playoffs, Todd Bowles and the Bucs, they kind of exposed him a little bit.
Yep.
And he's not good against zone blitzes, though, because it's just a little more confusing. It's a little more exotic. So that's one thing where it's like, all right, if they get an explosive play off of it, that's going to decide the game. But I think Spags is going to try and bait him into that one turnover that can totally swing the game.
Right. X's and O's are important, man, just so you know.
They are.
It's
on our car over there.
No, I know you want to try to drag out your personality and all that. No, we need X's and O's, okay? Let me be the jackass. You give us X's and O's, okay?
I know. I'm fine with that. This is more my language, so we're good.
No, I love the X's and O's, though. I really do, because, again, we don't know what we're watching.
Yeah, so I'll tell you one little inside baseball play. All right. It's a coverage called palms, and it's a quarters coverage, so 2 high shell. And on it, it's basically a defense trying to run cover 2 and cover 4 at the same time.
Right.
And what you're trying to do is bait the quarterback into throwing to the slot, like a quick out route, and thinking that you can just have nice open space over there. Jalen Hurts loves throwing those.
Right.
The Chiefs are one of the best defenses at running this, so they'll blitz. Quarterback will think he's hot, and there's the corner who looks like he's running with the outside receiver. He'll turn around and be there to pick off or blow up the slot, or the tight end. I feel like that kind of play is going to be the one that decides the game. It's what the Chiefs do. It also baits Hurts into throwing what he wants to throw.
Right.
But this is where I love this stuff, is that, okay, I know what you know, what I know what you know.
Right.
All right, does Kellen Moore go all right, now throw the vertical route right
behind
behind
I like that.
And that's what if he does, if I see that little hole shot, that little 15 to 20 yarder towards the sideline, I'll be like, oh, the Eagles got some stuff. If I see that pick or that batted ball or that blow up on a quick out route, that's when I'm like, okay, the Chiefs got some stuff. There's going to be those little kind of indicators, like who's kind of maybe has the mental edge right away.
I love it. It seems, maybe I'm wrong here, it seems like you think the Eagles have a pretty good shot here.
I'm leaning Chiefs.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're not going to be surprised if the Eagles win.
No, I'm not.
Right. Okay.
Because I hate.
I'm doing the same thing, by the way. I know top to bottom, the Eagles are the better team, but I'm not betting against this guy.
That's
again.
right. And there's nothing where I look at with this Chiefs team where I'm like, oh, that's a glaring weakness.
Right.
Like everything's solid. They just don't create explosives. But the thing is, Mahomes can be methodical and can nickel and dime you. So, and you got Andy Reid on a bye week, and you got Steve Spagnuolo on a bye week.
Yes.
It's just I never go against it. But I do. Eagles can run the ball, stop the run. Create explosive plays, stop explosive plays. That's a really good formula too. So.
No doubt. How's the Land Cruiser set, by the way?
It's I'm
nice. Jealous. I don't have a Land Cruiser here. I mean, it's right here. Oh, my God.
I know. It's like literally, but that's what I said. They literally have X's and O's on it. So it's like, I know. So,
that is so good.
No, it's great. I know. They're doing a great job there with
which part of football did you love the most? Was it the ball boy? Was it playing? Was it the coaching? Or is it this? I mean, ball boy is such a great time,
ball boy was
right?
Pretty great.
Yeah.
I was in high school, middle school.
Yeah.
I was with those old Vikings teams with Moss and Culpepper and stuff.
So, wow.
Yeah, I saw some real shit.
Oh my God. Some of the greatest shit.
Yeah. So Moss lateral stuff.
Yeah,
that
Chris Carter just like unhinged, right?
Oh man,
never shutting up.
We had Ontario Smith. On
I said that respectfully to Chris Carter,
he's
but
greatest hands
he was just wired that way.
Well, that's also warped my line of thinking. Is that I watched Randy Moss, Dante Culpepper, Chris Carter, John Randall, Kevin Williams, all these guys, and I'm like, oh yeah, every receiver is like Randy Moss.
Yeah, right.
And then I've never seen someone near that ever in my life.
Never, not even close.
Not even close. It's like, there's a lot more Nate Burlesons than Randy Mosses. I love Nate too.
There's a lot more Chris Carters than Randy Moss, and I say that respectfully against Chris Carter.
2 shots. No,
he's done nothing to me, Chris Carter. He doesn't deserve anything.
No, but being a ball boy was, even though I was making like $20 a week, it was invaluable.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the Vic play where 2 guys ran into each other, and the Vikings. I was there for that one. So I saw a lot of kind of cool moments. Saw Brett Favre play 5 feet from me, Peyton Manning. So
amazing.
That probably is the best, and because maybe I was also 16. That
right, and it comes with 0 expectations too. Right,
just get the ball.
Just get the ball there.
Throw it underhand. Make sure it spirals. You can't throw overhand to refs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they hate it.
Wait, what do you mean?
So there's a preferred throwing style.
Time out. You were throwing balls back into the game, onto the field of play. 2 referees. They needed the ball.
Yes.
And you're telling me you cannot throw it overhand.
Okay.
So
they get mad at you if you throw it overhand because some of them can't catch.
Okay.
So you have to throw an underhand throw, and they prefer with a little lob.
Oh,
so
really?
they can adjust to it and everything like that.
Right.
So no, but and I was a quarterback, so there's times I was like, fuck it,
let it rip,
let it rip, and hit it. And one time, a ref actually loved that because it was like a no huddle 2-minute situation. He's like, thanks for getting the ball out there, and I was like, oh god, I thought I was gonna be fired. But but it's true. I one time threw it overhand, and a ref lectured me. He's like,
really?
Do not throw it overhand. He's like, you do not know what my hands are like.
Who was the ref?
I don't know. I know. I wish.
Who's the ref?
I know. Well, those guys are retired now too.
Right.
So yeah, I know. But
has there been a ref?
It might have been a Hockley. It might have been Hockley.
Oh, Guns, really? Was there a ref you didn't like, and even though you knew he wanted you to toss it underhanded, you just beamed him right in the face or something like that?
Actually, speaking of Hockley.
Oh, really?
No.
This is fascinating.
Nothing personal he did to me, but one thing
I want ball boy. All I want is ball boy stories from you.
He got bulky for a reason.
Right.
He knows he's on TV.
Yep.
One thing with Hockley, I always knows. Okay, so there's the orange guy that says TV timeout.
Yeah.
Takes the pause.
Yes.
Offense will be in a huddle sometimes and everything. A lot of refs just go into the quarterback, go like, hey, 5 seconds.
Right.
And then back out of there.
Right.
Hockley goes, hey, 5 seconds. And just hangs because he knows the camera is going to be, when they come back from commercial, where they always show the offense breaking the huddle.
Yes.
There's Hockley always going, and then he goes.
Showing off the guns.
And every quarterback in the league knows that. So everyone, so I've been in the league. People were kind of busting his balls about it. I make sure I get that extra couple seconds in there.
That is it, right? Extra couple second pose, right?
Show off the tries.
Oh my God, that is so good. Football 301, Yahoo Sports. They're right next to us here on the Toyota Land Cruiser set. Nate, we appreciate this, man. Right. I got you out of here before your curfew. How about that?
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, appreciate it. But tell us what you're doing. Super Bowl week is here. What you're doing with Smirnoff. And after that, I want to ask you more questions about being 50, okay?
We're doing a huge tailgate, the longest tailgate ever for a Super Bowl. It's going to be a 60-foot truck bed, and we're just going to have a lot of food. The chef is going to be out there cooking and just, just a really great time for people to come out and enjoy themselves. And most importantly, they have to drink responsibly.
Yep.
But, come out and just have a great time. And I'm going to have other former players out there with me, like Vernon Davis and Chris Long. So I just think it'll be a great opportunity to come out and just really have a great time and enjoy themselves while they're in New Orleans.
One of the really good people, one of the really good men to ever play in the NFL, Warrick Dunn, is with us here. On behalf of Smirnoff. Drink responsibly. That's a great campaign by you. But I'm wondering, Warrick, you have done so many fantastic things with your life, with your career. What is the thing you are proudest of?
Well, I'm thankful, honestly, that I have the ability to help people, help change someone's life, impact them, and just doing things in a positive way and helping them have a better future, not just for themselves, but for their kids. And, it's not just about me, but it's also about building a healthier society, a healthier community so that we can support each other. So I'm thankful that I do have the ability to impact communities in a positive way.
In terms of cities, where does New Orleans rank for you?
Well, actually, I was born in New Orleans. I'm a charity baby. So I'm a charity baby, born in New Orleans, raised in Baton Rouge. So, New Orleans, that's home. I have family there. I go back often, and when I do go home, that's when I eat bad. So, I gained a couple pounds after being there because the food is so good.
Billy, are you taking notes here? Warrick is giving us some advice as to where to go when we make our first trip to New Orleans.
Yeah, Warrick, I'm interested in the cuisine as well, so I've been looking for an expert of sorts. So I'm glad that you're giving us this. I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Liam Combs, you want to punch him in the head, right? Responsibly.
Yes.
It'll be a love tap.
Tap. How do you go from saying I'm not going to be the head coach to I'm going back to Tampa to then just disappearing for extended periods of time, and then you reappear like, here I am, the head coach of the Jaguars?
Well, it's a business. For me, you can't take anything personal. And I had to learn that early in life that this is a business and everybody's going to do and the teams are going to do what's in their best interest. And as a player, and I know as coaches, you have to do things that are in your best interest. And so he's looking out for his future and his opportunity. And I can't really be mad at that. It is what it is. This is a business at the same time that we do love the game of football and it's about team, but the business side comes first.
Warrick, are you a fan of everything that's changed in college football?
No, sir. I'm not. I think when you're thinking about college football, the NIL has definitely just really impacted the game in such a way that, kids are supposed to be in college. You can play sports, but you're supposed to be in college to get a degree. Mm-hmm. Today, it just seems like everything is about the dollar, and they're not going through any adversity. We all came out fine on the other side because we learned some things by going through some adversity. And once we fell down, we got back up and we were able to move in a more of a positive direction. And today, if they don't like something, they say bye, they get in the transfer portal, go to the next location, and they're just chasing the money and not necessarily focusing on the next 20, 30 years of their life. So for me, I just think the game, they need to take a step back and put some parameters around it because I want the guys to make money, but we need to have some parameters around this game so that it's a game where they're playing at the highest level, but you have to go through some adversity to get to the other side, understand the journey that it's going to take to become a young man, a great athlete, just a great human being.
If I told you way back when Deion Sanders would one day be a good head coach, dare I say great head coach, you would have told me what?
Well, I have to say wait and see, right? Because it's hard to say who's going to be what. But I think Deion is taking what he's gotten from other coaches and what he has learned. I think he's trying to instill that in other athletes. So it's about a wait and see game. And, for me, it's just you wait and he's still coaching. He still has a way to continue to grow and impact guys. So I think it's only a matter of time. We'll see what happens, but it's a wait and see game.
Do you marvel? I mean, you're a former running back. You rushed for, I think, over 10,000 yards during your career. Do you marvel the way we do at Saquon Barkley?
Well, I like his game. Just so you know, I'm 37 yards shy of 11,000. So if I would have got a couple more carries down in Tampa, my early days, I would have been over 11,000. I've just messed.
Who are we blaming for that? No, there's someone to blame. Who are we blaming for that, Warrick? I hear it.
Well, no. Think about it. When I first got into the league, I got drafted. I was 170 some pounds. And back then, you're not going to let a 170 some pound running back run the ball consistently down in and down out. And whenever we got close to the red zone, they would take me out of the game. So it's just what it is. And I played at an era where, I was only 185 pound max playing at this level, and I had to prove that I can run the ball inside. I can make guys miss. I can do things that they didn't think I can do. And that was just that chip on my shoulder. But the game has changed today. I've had guys who playing said, if I played today, oh my gosh, that, I can probably do some things. You play a lot longer and make a lot of guys miss. So it is what it is. But I think I had a good career. I got over 15,000 yards of total offense, rushing and receiving all-purpose yards. So I impacted, and I wasn't trying to get hit at all. If you remember, I wasn't trying to get touched.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
So I was, I wrote a book. I was running for my life, literally. So making sure that I can get up and go on to the next play. But I am thankful. And Saquon, he's just really, took a step forward. And I think just being in Philly, after his first year, I think now he found his rhythm. And can he maintain that or continue that for the next few years? Time will tell. But right now, he's riding high. And offensively, they're controlling the line of scrimmage and creating holes and seams for them. He's hitting them at the right time and making guys miss. And that's what's important.
You think with that Eagles line, you could get the 37 yards you need, maybe 2-3 games to go out there, 20 carries, something like that? If not the Eagles, what's the team? Who's the line that gets you the 37 you need?
Yeah.
Well, that's a tough one. That's a tough one right there, because football has just changed. But, just watching Saquon, he's running a little stretch or counter, and he's able to utilize his skills. I think I can probably do that. But
okay,
if you just gave me a really good offensive line, I'm gonna do my thing.
Yeah,
that's all I need is good offensive line, and they're gonna get all the credit. But I'm gonna work hard to get those yards.
We'll have you promote Smirnoff again on the way out here, but one more question before we get to that. The Mount Rushmore of Florida State football, 4 names. I need 4 names, Warrick. The Mount Rushmore of Florida State football.
The Mount Rushmore of Florida State football?
Yep. You can put a coach on there because I know you want to put Coach Bowden on there. So,
well, he's the top.
Yes.
It wouldn't be any Seminoles, Florida State without Coach Bowden. And it's a lot of great players. I know there's so many guys I can't really just name 4, honestly.
Right.
The greatest player is the greatest person is Coach Bowden. We have, obviously Dion was a great player. Terrell Buckley was a great player. Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward has to be on there. Charlie Ward, Dion, Bowden. They all those 3 need to be on there. And dare I say, you're the 4th. For me, you're the 4th.
I'm the 4th.
Yes.
No, the thing is, people don't know this, that when I went to Florida State, I was supposed to be a defensive back. And I made a deal with Coach Bowden that if you give me an opportunity to play running back, and if it doesn't work out, I'll move to defensive back. But he gave me an opportunity to play running back. And the rest was history after the first week of training and training camp. So I'm thankful that I was able to go there and definitely impact the school in a positive way. And like I said, run and compete. And I love to compete. So I wanted to be where the best were at. And I wanted to show everybody that I can play with the best. So that's that competition in me. I don't think it's ever going to go away either.
Listen, I think I left out Derek Brooks. Who am I taking off? I think I left out.
No, Derek. But it's that's what I'm saying. It's so many guys that you can't just pick 4. I love Dion, but Brooks was a great player.
Yeah.
We had great guys on both sides of the ball. It's the teams that we had that brought it together. And remember, My year was the first year we actually won a national championship. So you got a lot of great players that played together, came together, and we all helped each other be the best that we can be. And that was the most important thing. It wasn't just one guy, it was a team. And Coach Bowden was the head of that. He was the one that brought us all together.
Warrick, one more time on the way out here. Tell everyone what you're doing this week, New Orleans Super Bowl week with Smirnoff.
Well, everyone, please come out. I'll be in New Orleans at the Super Bowl. It's going to be the longest tailgate you've ever been a part of with Smirnoff. We're going to have, great food, some jambalaya. We're going to have other guys out, Vernon Davis and Chris Long. It's just going to be a great opportunity to come out and just really engage. It's going to be on Canal Street, but if you want to know more, just go to Smirnoff.com and you can sign up, find out the location that we will actually be at. Just come on out, just have a great time, and we can toast each other and have a great time, drink some cocktails. So it should be a great time. Family and friends and just people that love to engage and just really want to enjoy themselves. But we always have to remember that we have to drink responsibly. Yeah. Always. Just let's take care of each other, drink responsible, but we can still go out and have a great time together.
You are a good man. We appreciate the time. Checking him out. Smirnoff this week. He's going to be in New Orleans, going to be hanging out with Vernon Davis, Chris Long, and others. By the way, 50 looks a lot better on you than it does me, Warrick. Thank you for your time, buddy.
Yes, sir. Well, I try to shave all the gray hair. I try to keep it all off.
I'm just unhealthier, that's all.
Oh, it's all. You're good. Trust me.
Are you aware of Brady praising you?
Somewhat, man. People have been telling me, paraphrasing everything that he said. So,
I do. Are you guys rolling here? All right, so I do a thing called Weekend Observations. DeMario Davis with us here. It's Super Bowl week. It's Radio Row. We will get to what he's doing on behalf of Ashley here in just a second. But I was watching a game, and Tom Brady, I do a thing called Weekend Observations, where I just write down a bunch of sports observations in my notes. We try to make them funny and entertaining. And here's what I wrote down. This was Tom Brady, okay? No one wraps up a ball carrier like DeMario Davis.
That's my job, man. I got to get him down, dog. I got to get him down.
But do you agree there is no one that wraps up a ball carrier like DeMario Davis?
First of all, you got to put an epic pause on that.
Yes.
But I think, man, I do take a lot of pride in tackling. And what a lot of people don't know is I didn't play defense really until my senior year in high school.
Really?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be a receiver. I knew I was going to make it to the pros. That was my goal. I'm
right.
Like, I'm going to make it to the pros. But I thought I was.
When did you know you were going to make it to the pros?
I really knew when I got to college. But
okay.
when I said it in fourth grade, it was the first time I said it.
Wow.
In fourth grade, I was like, I'm going to NFL. I meant it.
You spoke it into existence, right?
It was never like, I hear teachers talking. You can't just have a plan A. You need to have a plan B.
Right.
I was like, man, I'm gonna have a plan for my plan A.
Right.
And that's my mindset. But so I played receiver, and I had a coach. He brought me over to defense, and he showed me how to tackle.
Wow.
Coach McCann, shout out to Coach McCann. He taught me how to tackle, and it was a shoulder tackle, and I still use the form that he showed me to this day. You got people who tackle with their face. You got guys who spear. You got guys who do like a little sling tackle. You got people who cut tackle. But I use a shoulder tackle, and it's been effective.
Wow. I cannot believe you said you set out. So you said at an early age, I'm going to be an NFL football player, and then you would not stop until you achieved that goal. That's incredible.
Well, I mean, at that age, you don't know what you're really declaring.
Right.
All I know is I'm a dogmatic person. My kids are like this. I got 6 kids. My son and one of my daughters are like this. Like, when their mind is set on something, even as their mom and dad, we can't sway them.
Wow.
We got to figure out a way to redirect them.
Right.
It's like, and I'm like that. So when I said, my uncle asked me, what do you want to be? I'm like, I want to go to the NFL. We had just watched a playoff football game on TV. The whole family was watching.
Sure.
I'm like, I want to be my whole family sitting around the TV watching me.
Right.
And I was like, I'm going to the NFL.
Yeah.
And I meant it. And everything was, I started practicing doing my autograph when I was like in the 6th grade.
Really?
And it's like I used the autograph that I practiced like 1,000 different ones, and I was like, oh, that's the one I'm going to use.
Right.
And that's the same one I do to this day.
That's pretty incredible. Are you having fun here in New Orleans?
Oh, man, listen, where else would you rather be?
It's a great city.
Man, it's an amazing city. It's one of the most unique cities in the country.
Yep.
it's great for like weeks.
Yes.
You know, come get your dose,
Yes.
and then you go on where you got to go.
Right. Get it in small doses, you're saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much to take in. It's
I'll
such a
gain too much weight if I stay here too long, man.
Man, the food is unbelievable. Everybody I talk to is like, what they're looking forward to is the eating.
Right.
Man, so much culture here. It's Mardi Gras week.
Yes.
It's festival season. It's kicking in. Man, listen, it's an amazing time, and people are just, getting here. Opening night was great last night.
Right.
You just can tell the energy is going to be crazy. Listen, this game is about to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's what, it's a lot of games that, Super Bowl could go any kind of way.
Sure.
You might get an epic Super Bowl like Ravens and 49ers
Mm-hmm.
last time it was in New Orleans, or you might get when Patriots played the Rams. Nobody remembers that game.
Right.
And
yeah, you're right.
I think this is going to be an epic game. You got two phenomenal quarterbacks. I mean, I'm looking at those guys when they came in opening night and they on the stage together. They doing the high fives and doing all that. But you looked in the eyes, man, you saw two killers.
Yeah.
And this game is about to be good, man. So
Well, it was great the
excited.
last time they played, right?
Oh, yeah, it was a phenomenal game.
Right.
Went down to the end. Mahomes proved his greatness once again.
Right.
But I think that sat in the back of Jalen Hurts' mind, and A.J. Brown, them guys, they haven't forgot.
Yeah.
And now they got Saquon. They coming to town. So
Well, they have the thing that can keep Patrick Mahomes off the field, and that's Saquon in a running game, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, when you're playing the Chiefs, it's really one thing: keep Mahomes and Andy Reid off the field at the end of the game.
Right. Yes.
I think
Right.
last year in the Super Bowl, we knew what was going to happen, even though they were backed up against the wall.
I mean,
Mahomes had the ball at the end.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, you can go ahead and cancel Christmas. And the way he went down the field was
Right.
so epic.
Yes.
It was like watching poetry in motion.
Because you knew he was going to do it. It's just a matter of watching it play out, right?
Listen,
Yes.
now what I will tell you is,
I think people be okay with Andy Reid on the field, by the way, as opposed to Patrick Mahomes.
but that's his machine. Let's not
I know, I'm teasing
let's
you.
not forget who's behind
Right,
it, man.
right, yeah.
Having a great offensive mind at the end of the game. Is,
Right.
You got to have a general that's on the field doing it, but you got to have a great play caller, and they got to be in sync.
Yeah.
But I tell you what the Eagles have that can pose a threat
Okay.
that I think that the 49ers might have not had at that moment. You need somebody that can make that game-changing sack.
Right.
You remember when Aaron Donald was in the Super Bowl and
Yes.
he got that big sack at the end of the game?
Yes.
The only thing that can stop a quarterback like Mahomes that's on that Tom Brady level, if he hasn't quite got to it, he's right there knocking at the door.
Right.
They're going down the field. They already know where they're going with the ball when they get to the line of scrimmage.
Sure.
And everybody knows it's really just like, don't drop the pass.
Right.
He's going to get the ball to the right guy, going to make the right decision all the way down the field. The only person that can be effective, this is why the most important defensive position is a pass rusher. Somebody got to be able to get to him inside of 3 seconds.
Right.
And I think like the guy who's made so many of these type of epic sacks is Brandon Graham.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
Right.
He's always making that phenomenal sack. So if we get to the last drive of the game and Mahomes is driving down and Brandon Graham gets a sack push, I'm going to be like, DeMario Davis called this.
I'm going to say that. And I like that because you're saying for the first time Mahomes won't get it done. You're saying
I'm not saying that. I am not saying that. You are not going to protect me with that. I just
Wait.
said don't be shocked if that happens.
Do you want me to ask you again at the end and you say Mahomes is going to get it done? But that way you have all sides covered. You know what I'm saying? You can't be wrong.
No, I just said I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
No,
but,
I know.
But for me, I think if I had to make a pick, I'm saying 3-peat is going to happen.
Okay. Which defense do you trust the most, though? Because defensive linemen, after quarterback, the D linemen are the best players on the field in this Super Bowl.
Yes. The defense I trust the most.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
They're both good.
Man, they're both really good. Number one, pass defense, that's tough.
I know.
With some defensive linemen that can get it done.
Yeah, and Spags on the other.
But, man, listen, that corner blitz
Yes.
on Josh Allen.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Nobody saw that coming.
Can you
was a
explain that?
phenomenal
Like,
call.
can you, because you're marveling at something. I don't think we know. We talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
We have no idea what we're watching. So can
So-
you explain why that was so, like, even to someone like you who's played the game your entire life,
Yes.
why was that so surprising
Yes,
to you?
because when the offensive line kind of comes out and they're looking, they pretty much have numbered where the blitz can come from.
Okay.
And it's so many guys, and so it can be, kind of your 4 defensive linemen or your 3 linebackers or the 2 linebackers and a nickel. And that's most time who you're watching. If it's the safety start moving, which is the guys who are on the back, if they start rotating, it's
Right.
one of them blitzing.
Okay.
Very rarely do you think that the corner is coming.
Right.
And so if you've shown that, teams kind of aware of it, but it's just hard to pick up, and it has to be called at the right time. And
Right.
that's what they did. It was like because it's so risky. If you blitz the corner,
Yes.
you're almost giving up a first down because it's hard to hide that the corner is blitzing without rotating the safety over there.
Sure.
So it's like 10 yards of grass that he can just throw right to and get the first down.
So they saved it for that time.
They saved it for the right time.
Wow.
The quarterback missed it, and he almost scrambled right into the blitz.
I know.
And
So you're telling me Josh Allen had no idea that was coming?
No, he didn't know it was coming.
That's amazing.
He would have got to a different play.
Wow.
Would have got to a different play. He missed it. He missed it.
Tell us that's incredible. Thank you for breaking that down
Yeah.
because, as fans, we watch football, right? We're just watching the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on inside the trenches,
I mean, and that's what a quarterback has to be able to diagnose. And
Right.
so, like, when you talk about the hardest position to play,
Yeah.
I don't want to just say Josh Allen missed it. It looks like he missed it. But they have to diagnose all that
Right.
to know exactly where they're going to go with the ball, get the team to the perfect play call. That's what, when you talk about, like, the go to doing, that's what Tom Brady would do.
Yep.
He would be able to look at the defense and know exactly what they were in and get the team to the play that was going to give them the optimal chance of success.
Preparation.
Yeah.
Film doesn't lie, right?
Yeah.
Film tells you everything you need to know. Tell us what you're doing on behalf of Ashley. You're doing great things, man.
Oh, my gosh. Listen,
You're a
Ashley,
good man, I got to tell you.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I'm just a man trying to do his part.
Well, you're a well-dressed man trying to do his part.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you, man. Shout out to my wife. She helps me with the threads. Man, Ashley is awesome. Man, they care so much about our country, and so they have initiatives going all over, but they have a deep connection to New Orleans and want to help people. And so they partner with us pretty much throughout the whole season. For my 100th start, which happened this season, my 100th start in New Orleans.
Amazing.
They partnered with us to do 100 beds for the Covenant House, which is a shelter for youth, the only shelter in this region for young people. So they're doing amazing things. So we partner with Covenant House many times over holiday events, but we got a chance to donate 100 beds to that place. Man, that meant so much to them. Just imagine, a young person having their own place, and it feeling safe and being a nice new bed.
Yeah.
So that was great. We remodeled a house. This amazing lady, she has a son that's autistic, and man, she does so much. Life has a lot of adversity, but she's just taking it and blessing people. She's an amazing singer, does hair in the city, just helps so many different people.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a chance to remodel her whole house with Ashley Furniture.
That's so cool, man.
They have been great, man,
Yeah.
and it's great to see them connected to the community and doing work for people and changing their lives. And so it's been great. They've been a phenomenal partner.
It's great to see the pride you have when you're telling those stories.
Yeah. I mean, it's real work. And we live in a world that's moving so fast, and a lot of things are happening.
Yeah.
But man, don't forget that there's people around you.
Right.
And everybody's going through something, and everybody could use something.
Right.
And so you have something that can help somebody, and somebody has something that can help you, and that's what interconnects our world. So, and man, they understand that.
You surprised a nurse, right? New Year's Eve, yes.
And see, Ashley's done so much that you forget. And so being able to surprise a first responder, man, the tragic
This is
event-
one of the coolest things I've ever. Go ahead, tell the story,
Man,
but it's one of the great things I've heard.
Man, listen, tragic what happened on the first, man.
Yes.
You don't get that time back. That's something that has marked us. This is such a resilient city. And to everyone that was on the scene, our fire department, our police department, first responders.
Right.
It took everybody, and you imagine what's happening. Everybody's reeling. It's people that have to be on point in times like that. So we got a chance to bless a nurse who was one of the first responders who was having to navigate that tragic moment, and we were able to give her 2 Super Bowl tickets. Courtesy our partnership with
That
Ashley.
smile on your face, man.
Yeah, man, that was awesome.
Yeah,
That was awesome.
You're awesome, man.
No, man, praise Jesus.
It's your
Praise Jesus.
It's your Super Bowl week, man. Enjoy
Yeah.
the hell out. You're hosting. You're the host here. You know that, right?
Man, we have
Everyone asking you for where am I going to dinner? Where do I go? I need tickets. They're coming to you, right?
Man, see, that's the great thing about this city, man. It's a festive season right now.
Yeah.
So it's parties everywhere. It's parade season. So the festivities is high. You can't pick a wrong place to go.
Yeah.
Everybody's talking about the food. It's awesome. So it's great to just welcome the world to our city.
All right. Doing great work with Ashley. Also, check out his foundation, Devoted Dreamers. He's also the best dressed man here on Radio Row. Tell your wife she did a phenomenal job.
Hey, I appreciate you, man. It's a blast. Blessings to you.
All right. Appreciate you,
All right,
man.
thank you.
DeMario.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man.